Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I have something very different, which is going to be a time lapse of start to finish for the very first big canvas that I have ever painted. And I want to remind you guys that I am new at painting, or maybe not remind you, tell you guys that I am new at painting. So I made many mistakes on the first canvas that I did, which is why I started a second one. I just wanted to come on here and explain that to you guys before I start the video. So if you're interested in watching the process from start to finish, then please keep watching. So this is what the original canvas looked like after I finished sketching it. So as you guys can see, all of the pencil marks are still very visible even though I did multiple coats of paint. I tried erasing, but it just wasn't working because I painted over them. And I tried taking off that sauce that's on his mouth, but it just wasn't coming off easily. So I just decided to transfer this onto a new canvas. I just took some Scotch tape and layered it over my whole canvas. That way I could just trace it and transfer that tape onto the new canvas. Right here I'm just taking the handle of the scissors and going over all the tape that I just put down so that there wouldn't be any bubbles, and to make it easier for me to trace it without the tape falling apart. Guys, don't mind that square that's right there. It's there because I tend to move my lips. I don't know why, but I move my lips every time I'm like focused on something. My lip just moves to the side, and since this is time lapse, you can see that my lip is moving too much to the side. So I just decided to cover it up so you guys wouldn't see it. So right here I'm just peeling off the tape and transferring it onto the new canvas, but I'm making sure to line it up as good as I had it on the first canvas. That way there wouldn't be much of a difference from the original canvas to the new canvas, because I really liked the way that it was placed on the canvas. So right here, I'm just taking the cap of my X-Acto knife and pressing down on the tape to make sure that there are no air bubbles, and to make sure that the tape is stuck together where they're on top of each other, so that when I'm cutting it with the X-Acto knife, it wouldn't peel apart and mess up what I'm doing. So here I'm just peeling away all of the parts that were yellow, which were his skin color, his arms, his legs, and his face, because that was the color that I was going to be using the most and doing the most layers of. So in this clip, I decided to keep it in real time to show how long it took to paint his arm. Since it was a big space, I wanted to make sure that it was as smooth as possible, which is why I keep going back and forth from his arm to his hand to make sure that there weren't any streaks from the brush, and to make sure that the color was even and not darker on one side than the other side. So now I'm just taking the brush without any paint on it and going back over the parts that I just painted to make sure that it's all smooth and even, and to make sure that there aren't any visible brush marks. So right here I'm doing a second coat of paint. I did go over this and did a few coats because I really wanted the yellow to be very vibrant and to pop in the painting since I was doing a black background. So right here I added another real-time clip of me doing the shading, which was with another darker yellow. It did take very long, and I thought it was turning out good in the beginning, but then I started to notice that the yellow was too dark for the first yellow shade. This is where I messed up, and I just decided to get rid of the whole color because I wasn't liking it. Like I said, it was too dark for the first yellow shade, so here I am just adding more of the original yellow shade onto that darker yellow shade that I added, just to remove it and get rid of it because I did not like it. So after that dried, I'm taking a lighter shade of yellow than the one before, but still dark enough to create a shadow in the spots where I wanted them. Guys, I'm sorry my big ass head just kept getting in the way of this clip, but I really wanted to show where I put the new shading with the new yellow color that I chose, so please bear with it, sorry. Now I'm using my X-Acto knife to cut out all of the parts that I was going to paint blue, which were his shoes and his shorts. So because I wanted this painting to look as cartoonish as possible, I needed to make sure that wherever I painted was really smooth, which is why I used a lot of tape in the parts where I wasn't painting so that I could get that neat, clean finish. So right here I'm using my X-Acto knife to cut out his shirt. I was gonna paint it red, and I don't know why guys, but I didn't put any tape the first time on the yellow parts to cover it from the red, because I thought I could just use a smaller brush and make the lines as straight as possible, but that did not give me a smooth finish like I wanted for it to look cartoonish. So I decided to go over it with another layer of red to smoothen it out, but this time I put tape over it so that I could get those smooth, neat, clean lines. And I did a mistake again with the pink. I didn't put any tape, which made it look really blotchy, but I end up fixing that later, guys, don't worry. Right here, I'm removing all of the tape so that I can start doing the black outline that ties it all together. So by this time I had been working on this painting for a few days straight, and I wasn't using any tape because my X-Acto knife had lost its sharpness, and anytime I tried cutting out the space that I wanted to paint from the tape, the X-Acto knife was just not doing its job, which was frustrating me a lot, so I just ended up not using it. And that is why the grain spot came out so blotchy and not even or cartoonish like I wanted it. So this was a last minute addition, which was the Sideshow Bob. I decided to add him in because it does look like Bart is falling into space, you know, he looks like he's having a hard time. And since Sideshow Bob hates Bart, I just thought it would be so funny to have him in the background laughing at him. But this was frustrating me a lot because, like I said, my X-Acto knife was not sharp anymore. And I was really trying to get those cut clean lines, but it wasn't working, and trying to get a good angle on the camera was just making it even more frustrating for me. So I decided to do it off camera, and right here I'm just adding highlights to the painting. So there were still many things that I needed to fix in this painting, but my phone was running out of storage, so I decided to do everything off camera, and this is how it turned out, guys. I hope you liked it. I really liked this painting. It was fun, even though it was frustrating at the same time. But this is how it turned out, and I'm really proud of it because it is the first large painting that I had done. If you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It means a lot. Thank you for watching. Bye!